What the fuck? I can do this shit. Watch this.
Rap with aggression, it's my obsession. I gotta go get right. We the talk of the town and we get loud. She leaving with me.
Yo, you already know what the fuck is going on. It's the motherfucking favorite host, G Honcho, representing Talk of the Town, representing Mass Coalition. And I can't even call him a special co-host anymore. I'm just calling my co-host. Like, you already know who the fuck it is. Introduce yourself, brother.
You've been saying that for the past 4 episodes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, I'm not even going to call you a special co-host anymore.
He always, that's part of the introduction nowadays. Right. Just skip that part.
You're just a co-host at this point. No cap. But introduce yourself.
Again, it's your boy, Mega Magic. It's poppin'.
And we got a special motherfucking guest, a legend of Boston. You already know who it is. Pilz Bury in the motherfucking building, y'all.
What's cracking, y'all?
How you feeling? How you feeling, man?
Cool, man.
I'm good.
Appreciate you having me, bro.
We over here smoking some Lonnie Land weed, so you excuse us if we a little high right now.
Right.
You feel me? How you feeling, bro? You a legend, dog. Like, you've been doing this for so long.
Man.
Even before you go, we got to give them the titles that you got.
Right?
The titles.
Yeah, let's talk about run down the titles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The titles.
The titles.
Yeah.
Come on.
So, yeah, I mean, I think on the fly we got Boston promoter on there, but, you know, that's something I evolved into.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, like I was just telling Uzi, rapper first originally, you know what I mean? Turn business owner first, turn engineer, you know, then from there, promoter, events, that sort of thing. But also the whole while, like, a big part of me is business in general and real estate. So been a realtor, a real estate investor, and I push you know, financial literacy and, you know, freedom, independence, and that sort of thing. Ownership, all that good stuff. So, you know, it's a lot under the umbrella. But all in all, man, that's you know, in a nutshell, you know, because he want me to get, he knows too much. That's what's going on.
Like, usually people would say the jack of all trades, but since this is my other Haitian brother, I'm going to call it the Jean of all trades.
Jean of all trades.
Yes. See, I'm not Haitian. But nah,
yeah, man.
That's dope. You've been doing this for how long now?
So celebrated 12 years, 12-year anniversary. It's dope, man. 12 years. It sounds crazy, but factor in the pandemic and everything like that. I remember, you know, 10-year anniversary felt like just yesterday. So, you know, it's dope. You know, as long as you keep it going, man. You know what I mean? We keep talking about it, you know, behind the scenes, but I'll say it again, it's consistency, really. Is the main thing you want to focus on if you're trying to do anything, really. But definitely in the line of business, you know, and stuff like that. Business is a lot of accounting and things like that involved that people don't see, you know, but entrepreneurship and stuff like that, man, definitely. It's one of them things you got to stick to it, you know? So, yeah, that's how long I've been doing it in a nutshell. So when I say 12 years, that's how long I had the actual, like, the brick and mortar recording studio to work out of. So that's been around for 12 years. That's kind of sort of around the time I moved back to Boston, too. So, you know, I got here, it's like, you know, I need to get something going, you know, business-wise and, you know, factor in some income and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Come up with a plan. Here we are, man. Still getting it rolling.
I know that you mentioned the studio, and my history of knowing much about you is being a promoter and throwing out shows. Now I know that Jizzy, he headlines like a lot of like local artist shows to this day consistently. Back in the day, you was that guy. I'm not gonna lie. You was literally that guy. I remember leaving high school. A lot of artists back in the day that wasn't really notable. They was always like really stretching their hands to really get in contact with you. So
Absolutely.
the things I wanted to like really elaborate on, like, what did that whole, because you were kind of like one of the first innovators when it came to like creating like local artist showcase at bigger venues. You were actually one of the first people around the area that was really doing that when other promoters were trying to get like famous people here or focus on rock and roll and dance music. You was really capitalized on that. So like, what drive you to kind of start doing that?
I think it really comes from me being an artist, to be quite honest with you. Originally, you know, days of whatever, high school, college, having that passion for the music and stuff like that, and knowing what drives other artists, and then just being able to tap into that in a unselfish manner, because you got to take away from yourself if you are an artist to kind of like focus on other artists. Um, and that's what I did for like half of a decade for sure. And yeah, like you said, around the time there wasn't a lot of people that was looking to do that. You had people that maybe would want to like a industry artist, or they would like basically base their shows off of that. So I wanted to focus on the local artists because we just got a lot of talent out here. You know what I mean? It's just really no other way to flip it. So I came up with a lot of different themes, a lot of showcases. I mean, that's the thing. Just like in society, people don't do their research, but you're bringing, you're taking it back and stuff. So yeah. There was a time when it was really like just me and maybe one other promoter legitimately that was doing it consistently. There goes that word again. So on a regular basis, like every month, there was something going down.
Pilz Bury
in
was
a
always doing
legitimate venue, like we were just saying, like, pet peeves, like I need like a stage so these artists can be presented the right way. Do you have a sound person? What is your equipment like? You know what I mean? How's your parking? Just different factors and stuff like that. And then you can't even really be that selective around here because around that time, it was selective about you, so you couldn't really get into the venue. So when I got into them and stuff and started to become established, I continued to work with local artists, and just probably, it was always local, It was always a local focus just from going away from Boston, living in Baltimore for, like better half of 10 years back, and just seeing how Boston was kind of like the light of Boston wasn't really like, Boston I knew wasn't what people was seeing, from afar, So I'm like, wait, y'all gotta know, you know what I mean?
That's true.
We kind of lit up there, like chill. So that's like the DMV area. Shout out to them everywhere. All
Big shout
my
outs
New
to
York
DMV.
niggas, everybody like down that way. But yeah, so one of my focal points was coming back, setting up, a business, and obviously a studio, helping facilitate, the artists. My focus was like making it affordable. You know what I mean? So I charged literally $40 for 10 years. You know what I mean? Never went up on the price specifically. You know what I mean? For that reason, to make it, feasible for the artists to get their music done, get it out there, get on the stages eventually, and stuff like that. So.
And I've seen that you have like built that bridge for artists as well too. One of the biggest shows, I'm not gonna lie, let's go back into memory lane. Used to do the ladies first showcases. And I'm not gonna lie, because I'm a promoter as well with my brother Jizzy, and we're rocking it out right now.
Yep.
But back in the day, there wasn't a lot of black promoters. So just to see a black promoter be able to put a whole bunch of rappers at the House of Blues was everything. Like we was looking at you like
was like, what
the fuck is going on? Like you were like the person. I remember that show itself. I was like, God damn. Yeah, all ladies. All lady showcase.
We did a couple of them at the House of Blues. I had a nice stretch at the House of Blues where it was like consistent, So shout out the House of Blues. I probably was there for the better half of like 2 years, monthly showcases. We was in the foundation room. Obviously, the theme shows, like that Ladies First showcase was a yearly showcase that's been going on probably like 8, 9 years or something like that. Yeah, almost 10 years probably. Yeah, and had breaks here and there, but mostly just the pandemic is, if anything, slowed us down. So don't, you know what I mean? I don't want to hear too much past tense now. It's not too much was and all that. We just did a Ladies First a few months ago. Shout out everybody that put up to that at Middle East. Show was great. It was my first show at Middle East. But I did wanted to bring the Ladies First theme and brand over there because it moves around and stuff. So, there was a House of Blues factor, and then some other places I've used. But the theme's always the same. Some of the hottest up and coming ladies from the Boston area because I always believed in the ladies back then because
I was just gonna say
a lot of
that.
stuff is
I was just gonna say that because a lot of stuff that was back in the day, a lot of people was paying attention to all the gangster rap, and there wasn't a lot of like huge like female presence. So when you were like doing a lot of like shout outs to them and giving them a platform, that was like everything.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
so that was everything.
dope,
so big salutes to you, man. Because even
appreciate it.
now, the atmosphere, the thing that you created for Boston to open up like that platform for women is huge, like very
There's
huge
a lot
now.
of it going on.
Back in the day, it was only like 2 or 3 girls that was just only rapping. And then when
Yeah.
you was doing those shows, people were like, "Who's this? Who's this?
Yeah,
Who's this?
how's he
Who's
finding
this?"
all these people? You know, where these people live here in Boston? Where they from? Like, she's actually all right. Who was this? Wait, what the hell? You know, but yeah, that's like a lot of research. And then it became me seeking people to them seeking me out. You know what I mean? So that kind of helped make it easier to kind of, weed through certain things and just pick and choose who you might want to have on the platform and, just keep it going. So yes, shout out to everybody that ever rocked a Ladies First. A lot of people got their first opportunity on Ladies First or their first like bit of like some good exposure. Like you said, House Blues is a
Big shout out to my
platform.
girl. She was in that lineup too. She was in the ladies first lineup.
Yeah.
Mina.
For real?
Oh yeah.
That's
She
crazy.
definitely did the Ladies First.
Yeah,
Right?
she did Ladies
Which one she do? She like I don't know. She
See,
did the Somerville one, right?
I'm-
Thunder Road.
I'm young.
She
I'm
did
Shout out to
Thunder Road.
Thunder. We did Thunder Road. Yep.
This is crazy.
Thunderville. So try to do that. Try to coordinate like that. So yeah, shout out to Mina. Doing her thing.
As y'all can see the difference between the generations right now. I'm all like,
You're
wait.
like, wait.
I was young.
What y'all talking about?
I was young and shit when all this shit was going on. So I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and see what's up.
Right.
Nah, that's definitely dope. 12 years. How do
12
you
years,
keep
man.
the creativity going? Like, I know there's times where you're just like, damn, I feel like I did this already.
Mhm.
How can I revamp this or whatever? Like, how
Right.
do you keep that creativity flowing?
Man, I'm gonna keep it a buck, like I was just saying off camera. Like, sometimes you run flat, you know what I mean? And you gotta check the run flat indicator, like some of the whips have right now. You know what I mean? And check and be like, you gotta recharge mentally, you know what I mean? Ultimately it's like a no quit mentality that'll keep you going. Cause otherwise you are gonna have that element of quit pop in there here and there for many different reasons and different factors. People are gonna piss you the fuck off and you're gonna be like, you know what I mean? Or just stuff pisses you off. If not people, then you know what I mean? So then you gotta battle with that. But as long as you have like a goal set out, it's attainable, you're still working on it, and then there's expansion too. So I've always been big on expansion. Like my man Uzi was just saying about the corporate world, expanding and stuff as far as positions and stuff like that. But it's the same thing with business. So yeah, obviously it started off as a studio. I didn't realize I was gonna want to do shows and all of that stuff, but I did. And, that worked out too. But yeah, it's expansion. Then I shot a few videos. I didn't think I was gonna produce beats, but I did for mad years, produce beats. And that's kind of like, where it's at, man. Just keep it going, keep adding on. Like I said, video work, so photography, all of it like correlated. So, it's good. Artist management, yeah, I definitely rock with a lot of artists. If not directly, then indirectly, there's a lot of people that I support. I'll definitely look out for, whether it's showcases or behind the scenes stuff. You know what I mean? A lot of people I connect with for sure. You know what I mean? Shout out to Miss Chic. I gotta say that real quick because I'm looking at y'all. I linked with y'all. I think both of y'all do Miss Chic, right?
I was just about to say, like,
So,
it was funny because when I linked up with Miss Chic, she was like, "You don't know Pilz Bury?" He's like, "He lives right there from you."
right,
You guys are from the
She
same
be
area.
mad. She be
So
She's
crazy.
always
know each other.
Like, yo, she
that's
called-
how I always been. She, knows
She called
that,
me
so-
like, woke me up out my sleep like, yo, bro. I'm like, yo, what's good, sis? Like, what's going on? She's like, you know who Pilz Bury is? I'm like, I've heard of him. Like, I've heard of him. I've seen the events. She's like, yo,
She's mad.
you might as well, you gotta link up with him. I'm linking up with him right now. I just got off the phone with him. Da-da-da-da. Literally within like an hour, bro, we started talking, started kicking.
she'll connect the dots real quick.
So, definitely huge shout
Yeah,
out.
that's sis right there. Shout out to her. She knows I reciprocate the same energy early in the game before she was a promoter. I used to tell her like, yo, this ain't for, you know what I mean, everybody, you know. And yeah, it's good that she's doing a thing right now. You get to experience, you know, the best of both worlds and pros and cons and everything like that. So yeah,
Sir.
absolutely.
So let's talk about this 12-year anniversary show that you
Yeah.
got coming up next Friday
Oh,
at
let's
Middle
get it.
East.
Let's get it.
Yeah,
Stacked lineup.
man. Yeah, we
Hosted by,
in there,
you know,
man.
me, of course.
You know what I mean?
Let's talk about it, bro.
Yeah,
That lineup is crazy, bro.
The lineup
Crazy.
is tough, man. I'm excited. I'm excited about this one. Like I said, we had that gap, the pandemic gap. So basically, right now, it's like, so I missed a year or two, like maybe like at least a year of celebration, because you want to do that every year because you
Right.
run out of energy and stuff like that. And you want to celebrate what you've done for that year. So coming back, I'm from Cambridge, so like I said, I wanted to get in the Middle East. First showcase was Ladies First a few months back. But now we get to go in there and do, you know, it's all, you know, all genders.
Right.
We got all kinds of people on deck. It should be fun. You know what I mean? I think with these shows, I try to really like seek out who's, you know, not necessarily who's, because sometimes there's a lot of people working hard that, you know, everybody don't know about. So you really analyze the game and stuff like that. It's associates, it's things like that. I'm like, I don't know where to pass. Yeah.
Whatever. We just always fucking up the rotation on the show.
Things gonna be high on here. Oh, don't cough. Yo, got you. I just went through the tutorial too. But yeah, now we got a dope lineup. You know what I mean? One Shot Ace, shout out to him. I know homie for a minute, actually. Another one came to my studio many years back. So it's good to see him come back out.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. He was low for years, and then boom, he popped back out. He's got some pretty dope songs, features. You know what I mean? He got the joint with Chef G. I like. He got a joint with Roddy Rebel that dropped not too long ago. Videos out. You know what I mean? He's putting in the work. You know what I mean? So hats off to him. We linking back up. He's gonna pull up, do some joints. I got Don Deasy from around the way from Cambridge doing this thing. Usual Suspects. I'm good right now. Usual Suspects. Yeah, right. So yeah, you know what I mean? I'll dig in the crates.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? Sometimes, like I said, a lot of people you haven't heard in a while, but don't mean they're not working. And
But yo, that's what
getting
you've
these
always been
streams
perfect
and
about.
doing
You always been perfect about of making sure, like artists that people probably haven't heard from a while, putting them together on the lineup.
Absolutely,
And you've been doing that for like the past like 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Making niggas come out of retirement and shit.
Kinda, yeah. I actually joke with Cheek about it every time. Every time she does one of my shows, it's like out of retirement. It's like, all right, you coming and back out. You know, and who we had the other day, a couple years ago, Dre Robinson. Shout out to him. He came through and blessed it. We was at Wonder Bar, probably one of the last shows at Wonder Bar. Shout out to Wonder Bar.
Good old
A couple
spot,
years
man.
back, yeah, they shut it down and stuff. But yeah, we had that joint packed there. Yeah, it was fun in there. That was my first and only show at Wonder Bar, actually.
Right.
But yeah, and definitely like to have, you know, a lot of people that people know, and sometimes it don't matter if you know them or not. You're trying to make sure they're official and make good music, and you know what I mean? There to network and build and stuff.
I know you're just gonna be there chilling that night, but you know, I'm a spontaneous host, bro. Like, I don't know if you ever heard, like, I like heckling, I like doing spontaneous shit.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just saying, you sent me some music last night, bro. And if I get in contact with the DJ, you might have to just perform on tracks, bro. I'm just saying, bro.
Right.
That was the
I'm
next
just
question was
saying,
leading
like,
into.
You can't
That
like
was
you
the
can't
next
just be
thing.
sitting
That was
like,
the
bro.
segue.
Brody came like, bro. I think you sent to me at like what 9, 10 o'clock. I was leaving
Yeah.
work, bumping. I'm like, what the fuck? This nigga about to perform this shit. This shit crazy.
Oh, you played a couple.
This shit was crazy. I'm like, yo, this shit's tough. You about to perform this shit.
Yeah. Nah, you're right, man. Sometimes, like, I never perform my shows. It's very rare. I was trying to figure out how many shows I probably did out here, and the number's probably crazy. You know what I mean? I but probably in triple digits. I probably did 100 shows or something.
No, it's
And yeah, it has to be. And
Over
I have
12 years?
probably, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because even
Yeah.
before I became a promoter, you were.
Yeah, I at least have a show a month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already knocked down.
You know,
60,
sometimes
70.
every other week or whatever. But
That's
you
before
know,
5 years ago.
yeah, definitely did over 100 shows, and only performed maybe like 2 or 3 of them. One of them a couple years back, 10-year anniversary. I was like on a rock out and everything. But yeah, that's like again, a lot of people get on me about that because they're like, hold up. And they don't really hear my music too, and then be like, "Oh, we don't even know you rap."
Yeah.
And,
We on your back.
but
I actually want to talk.
then
Let's
they
talk more
listen
about
and be
that.
like,
You
"Hold
as an
up."
artist.
We on your back.
You as an artist. When did so you was a rapper first, right?
Absolutely.
When did that when did that start off? Like obviously when you were young, because you
Yeah, I say high school. High school. Yeah, definitely high school. Probably freshman, more like sophomore, junior year. Really got into rapping, writing, appreciating the craft and everything like that. Battling, stuff like that. High school days,
You said
college
battling.
rap. Yeah, like, we used to just battle for no reason.
who were your like biggest?
Oh, you motherfucker. You knew I was going to say that. You
Yeah, I beat you to it. My pong. nigga.
motherfucker.
These guys are battling questions right now.
What was your biggest influences when you started rapping,
Mm.
and while you were rapping? Because obviously you thought about being a producer, making beats and all that.
Mm-hmm.
What drove you to be like, you know what? I'm not only gonna rap, but like first start with like who were your biggest influences rapping?
Okay.
Mhm.
Rapping. Wow. So I'll say people like Common Sense, Redman, coming up, yeah, like people like that. But then, as a young buck, just, sneaking and listening, like Pete Rock, CL Smooth, people like that. Obviously Nas, you know what I mean? The Biggies of the world, stuff like that. Who you would think I would say, you know what I mean? Because
Kendrick.
we like to call it golden era, Kendrick's a little after the golden era, but
He's
we
talking
could
about
throw-
90s. He's talking about DMX, Mob Deep,
Yeah,
That out there.
coming up. Kendrick came
The Locks. We're not even talking about
Kendrick's
Deep
dope,
Locks.
though.
We're up to, oh shit. It was a 7-5.
Now we're gonna ask that question later. That question's for later.
Oh shit. I feel like I don't
Matter of fact,
want
we
to.
already brought it up.
I don't want to ask it though.
You might as well ask it now
We're
because
down bad, bro.
then
no.
we're gonna find out.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
All right, so
We're doing a poll with all the interviewers.
yep.
Okay.
So basically, it's the first to 10. It's between Kendrick and J. Cole. If Kendrick wins, him and my shorty gotta do the hot chip challenge. But if J. Cole unfortunately wins, then me and bro gotta do the hot chip challenge.
Oh, okay.
And right now it's 7-5. And the only reason why I say Kendrick because that's my dog. You feel me?
Oh,
He's going for J.
That's
So
a competition.
yeah. So if I J. Cole or Kendrick.
J. Cole.
Fuck! I said it. Didn't I say? I said I didn't want to.
I want to do it right now.
I'm actually.
What?
That's why I try to avoid it too. Like
He was gonna say J. Cole because J. Cole is way more closer to the golden era versus Kendrick, where he's more closer to the newer era.
I feel like
'Cause
you're
of
trying
sound.
I feel like you're trying to trade teams right now.
I can't trade team because like point blank I'm in it, and I do think that Kendrick Lamar is is like top 3 best rappers right now.
So what is that?
I do believe-
5, bro.
Yeah, I just never been a huge Kendrick fan. I respect what he does
Oh man,
for sure.
you adding?
But yeah, it's definitely different.
Since
like
we're
he's
talking
saying.
about
Salt to the fire.
the era of music, you got good ear for music because you produce a lot of nice tracks from a lot of artists.
Mhm.
So like
Yep.
what did the influence of being like, yo, you know what? Like, not only can I make music, but I also can write music for other people, help them put them on beats, create beats. Like, where did that drive come from? Because I'm not gonna lie, not a lot of people do that. And big shout out to my boy Uzi, because Uzi, he's also a jack of all trades, or I should say, the Jose of all trades. He does everything. He's a songwriter, producer, video maker,
Yep.
content creator. He's the whole nine.
Yes,
He reminds me of like the new edition of you. So like, what influenced you to kind of get into that bag? Because honestly, that could be a
Before you
lot.
answer that, OG, what the fuck is the Jose of?
when people say the jack of all trades, it's like a white term.
I just have to just like that. Just
It's like a white term.
Race related, right?
Word, like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Jose, like,
Yes. I am a little prejudiced. Whatever.
wow, yo, oh my god, yo.
Remember,
Move on.
I was the Jean. I was the Jean of all trades.
Yo, word, like,
The
so what the fuck am I?
Jean.
Because I'm not Spanish. I'm just straight nigga. So what are you gonna call?
You
What?
like-
Jamil of all trades.
The
Jaquan.
Jamil, the Jaquan.
The Jaquan of all trades.
Hold on, I got a lot of like. I'm not regular black. I'm Haitian American, but I got a lot of black American friends named Jamil.
Hey. Nigga said the Jamil, the Jaquan. You know what? All right.
But now I got your wait. Let me just see. Digressing. What was the question again?
That's right. What influenced you kind of to get into
the
producing, beat
Production,
making,
all that.
all that type of stuff?
I think I always had an appreciation for it just from being an artist. You kind of like write and stuff. You write, you go into the studio, but then you're like, you're thinking about like, damn, like, look at this motherfucker messing with the mix. That shit looks crazy, and maybe one day I might want to do that, or maybe not. You know what I mean? Beats, same thing. But I think I always wanted to mess around with beats. It was all about getting started and stuff like that. So once you grab a business, and I'm like dedicating time, energy, and resources as he's doing right now into it, I just started tapping into different things. First was like, all right, let me learn how to make these beats for real. And then let me really get to know how to mix. That's comes over time. You know what I mean? So I'm in there for 2, 3, 4 years, still figuring shit out. You know what I mean? And that's just how it goes. You know what I mean? So the writing, all that stuff came, and you got artists coming into the studio that, have certain levels of skills and maybe not the writing, or, maybe they have the writing and the skills are not there. So
Yeah, because I seen you in the studio like help out, make a hook for an artist before, because the artist was very lyrical and all that, and vice versa, even to like Uzi does the same thing too, of like even helping with songwriting. So even to get into that mode, you know what I mean, that to be taskful, that can be very. Is that stressful?
Yo, that's
in a way?
how do y'all
you
do
came like
it?
you came to produce somebody, and now you got to write half of their song.
Yeah,
Like, how do you write for? Like, that's the question. How do you write for somebody, bro? Like, that shit is. You have to like. First, you have to study the person, like who they are as a artist. Like, that's just.
I'll be honest with you. I might have started off ghostwriting. Maybe before I even wrote my own verse, I wrote verses for other like cousins and friends and stuff. So I had to think back. Like, so that probably was always there. You know what I mean?
So it's just second nature now when you just.
Yeah, I literally did. Like, wrote a rap about a cousin and gave it to him and taught them how to say it. This is like early before ghostwriting. So, you know what I mean?
To know that shit. I know both of y'all like y'all ghostwrite. I always wanted to know that. Honestly.
I would say like, experience of life, right? So it's like, niggas be going through shit in life. And, some people, when they write music, they want to write on the surface, right? Like, you want to write about you just a gangster rapper, you just a party rapper. But I'm like, nigga, you don't love your dog, you don't love your mom, you smoke weed, like you like bitches, talk about some other shit, you know what I mean? And then I would get big on that. So I think that's what it started with. And then I started doing artist development. But it's more like I've been through enough shit that I could just almost relate to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, but, just
it's
life.
doable.
Just using experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So over time, it becomes like second nature and stuff, and then you just want to do it. And then like certain things are like, don't sound right. You're gonna try to stop and correct them. So that's some of the differences that set you apart from everybody. Can record somebody or have a studio and stuff, but to advance a person's, you know what I mean, skill and craft to the next level, to the point where you see it, they see it. And it's gradually happening.
Huge.
You know what I mean?
That's
so
huge.
It's like fulfilling ultimately too. It taps into more purpose stuff. You know what I mean?
Because anybody could just press the buttons, but it takes a whole different other skill to really sit there and dissect somebody's music and be like, hold on. You should be flipping the bar like this. This is way too simple. This is way too complex. That's a huge deal.
I can't do it. That shit is just too. That would be too stressful.
Another thing, and this question might even relate to you, Uzi, as well too. You being an artist, and with me growing up for the love of hip hop, I used to write music as well too, and I wrote music for a very long time. I never really took it serious to like go perform or anything. I record once a while, and I love freestyling. And then I started doing other things. Me being a promoter, or even me being an artist consultant, sometimes even helping to manage artists, I'd be like, damn, if it was me, I would have killed it like this, or I would have did it like this. Do you ever feel like you're spending a lot of time building others when you could have been spending that time with your own lyrics? Like, you ever like had those moments? Because I know, like, and I only say that from experience because I have those moments because I talk to a whole bunch of artists and I help out a whole bunch of artists, and sometimes I even get in my own mind like, damn, if I had the time or if I was younger, I would have did it like this. So like, do you even have those like situations when you are in that like damn, I wish I had more time to work on my music. But like,
I think the whole
I'm stuck in
time.
the studio though.
Yeah, the whole time it was probably just that. So first 5 or 6 years, you're in the trenches and stuff. You're trying to figure it out. You're trying to make it make sense, and mathematically and everything like that. If you're really running a business, so it's hard to like, separate your focus on this whole new adventure, which I always called it my baby. I always called it my third baby. Supposed to be fly by night and just, fade in the wind thing. My 2 kids, which my daughter's 14, this company, you know what I mean? So, I digressed a little bit, but ultimately, what was he trying to get to?
Mainly, like, do you ever feel like,
oh, right. Well, yeah, a little bit.
Music and all that. Do you ever think about like, damn,
Yeah.
I wish I could work on my
Yeah, over time, I think it's been, it'll get to you like, damn, because you think it's like it's a year, then it's a second year, then it's, you know what I mean? I'll get to it later, but eventually I did, you know what I mean? Yeah, so there was a big gap, and then eventually I did, and, so I threw Giz the mixtape I did probably 3-4 years ago or something like that. Obviously, some of the work on there I was working on for prior years, before that. So I was always working on music. I always, shoot a video here and there, but it's nothing to the level that I would like to be doing or my ability that I think. You know what I mean? So that's the regret there. But it's not really regret. It's like because I'm doing something else. You know what I mean? I was growing my business. It's a give and take. You know what I mean? So that's why I originally called it like sacrifice. Because if I stayed on the path that I was in, I was badass, man. I mean, you said battle, man, like tearing people up off the head. You know what I mean? So, people don't even freestyle, and they call all kinds of stuff freestyle. Like, no, I still freestyle right now.
Remembering your writtens nowadays is a freestyle. as long as you remember your writtens, it could be.
I was just about to say,
so
like,
that's what I need to get to.
That's gonna be my next question. Like, do you remember your very first song that you ever wrote or recorded?
Damn, I think I do, but not like that. So many songs came after that. I couldn't even tell you the very first song. You know what? I know where it was. Don't remember the song though. It was just coming at that point. You know what I mean? Can't remember the joint.
I still remember my first bars to my first song.
What was your first bars?
It was like this: the nines that I pack, the rhymes that I rap is about to explode like the bomb in Iraq. Literally.
He must have been like 10 years old.
That's when all that shit was happening. Know what I mean? Rest in peace, 9/11. But yo, that's when all that shit was happening. So like, everybody was making. You know how many things I've been doing on this episode to fuck up our monetization? We ain't getting paid for this shit.
Yeah, the fuck right. Listen to him, YouTube.
Number one, we supposed to.
Right.
Nah, that's crazy.
You remember your first? Your corny ass. What's your rhymes?
I don't rap.
Exactly. That's why Uzi said you were trash.
I don't rap. I don't rap. You feel me? What you just say, nigga?
He's like, wait, hold up. What'd you say?
I don't give a fuck. I'm the best host out here, nigga. So I don't give a shit.
Hey,
I'll leave the rapping to y'all niggas, you feel me? So I mean, I can't if I dibble and dabble, but I don't talk about no bombs in Iraq. The fuck? Asshole.
It's fun though. You know what I mean?
It's the culture.
like primarily the other thing is like real first full time job is being a single dad of my 2 kids. You know what I mean? So now that they're a little more grown, I'm a little more outside a little bit. You know what I mean? So I could get in the booth a little bit. I can, you know what I mean? But prior to that, yeah, perform exactly.
How your kids
My
feel?
little audition to you, I was like, all right, hold this.
How your kids feel about you producing with like the gangsters of Cambridge and Boston, and then being associated with that and all that? Because
I don't know. I don't think it's such a bad thing because so for instance, like my son, I taught him how to produce as well as my daughter.
that is true. Yeah, you was telling me he was making beats too, right?
Early age, yeah. So he's producing at a pretty high level right now, and shouts out to him doing his thing, and people don't realize what the young mind can absorb.
Wasn't you sending his beats out like to New York and a couple places or something? You was telling me like somebody got along.
He had
got his beats.
Collaborations.
Collaboration. Yeah.
He's still doing all kinds of collaboration.
And how old is he
he's doing
again?
his own thing.
How old is-
Right now he's 16, but he's about to be 17
even at
in
that
about
age,
a month.
though.
He's about
At
to be
that
17.
age, just doing stuff like that.
But early he was, kind of doing his thing and stuff like that. So the young mind can absorb all kinds of stuff. So if you can start early, that's where it's at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Shit.
I mean, even my daughter right now, she's DJing. You know what I mean? And she DJs better than me. Because I only did it to save me money in certain events that I do. But she took it serious, like to the point that she's
That's the
YouTube
thing.
and stuff and all that. And
They'll take it serious.
And now, like when I have youth events and stuff, I hire her.
Right.
And the city
No,
hires
it's
her.
lit.
The city hires her. The city be paying her to DJ at city
do
events.
thing.
DJ Kid events. That's
Damn.
dope.
So she's on it right now.
She's
For real.
on it, right?
She only 13. So
Yeah,
she
that's
already
what I'm
ahead of the
saying.
game.
They
So
start
like
early.
starting young, you're already establishing something. And that's real big. And you've always been big into like helping out young artists, making sure that rates were real cheap at the studio. and then
Absolutely.
combining young artists, always doing collaboration. So like definitely thank you for that. Because a lot of the people
Gotta
I
do
even
it.
met up with was because of like the people that were in your studio.
Yeah. No, I've done like classes, like youth classes, production class. Try to teach youth how to make beats. Sometimes real young kids. I've worked like certain school departments and done that with them. Yeah, man. I did even with you're familiar with SCAT, Somerville Community. Yeah, so I did something with their summer program where they got to come into the studio, check it out and everything, and get a feel for getting on the mic and stuff like that.
Big shout out to Yvette.
Yep. Yvette was around at the time. Yep. And so definitely, youth is definitely where it's at.
So what advice would you give to the up and coming engineers or music producers, artists, or anybody that want to do more than one?
Because a lot of people are afraid to do that. A lot of people are afraid to do what Uzi's doing. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of like young professional bosses like him that are willing to help artists write their music, produce them, videotape them, even help mentor us through this whole podcasting situation and all that.
And before you continue that, y'all need to start giving these motherfuckers they flowers.
No, of
bro.
course.
I'm sorry,
Of
bro.
course.
Like,
No, of
y'all need
course.
to start giving these niggas they flowers. I see.
And
Give them they fucking flowers, bro.
and again, yo, Pillsbury,
A lot
like
of
you,
wouldn't be happen without.
I'm not gonna say something. I definitely gotta shake your hand. You have put out a blueprint for black promoters in Boston because I know how shiesty some of these people are. You know what I'm saying?
It's different around here, man. I
So
appreciate y'all saying
you
that.
really,
though,
really put out a
ultimately.
blueprint. And honestly, you encouraged me to be like, oh shit, he did it like this. Fuck that. I'm gonna
I'm
go
ahead
like
and do
that
this.
too.
Right.
You know what I'm
Sometimes it's what it takes, but I appreciate sometimes people acknowledging that because, right now it's a question of giving flowers out and stuff like that, whether it happens or not. But in a region like Boston, unfortunately, we have a bigger issue with that. You know what I mean? So we have a bigger issue. So, a lot of people do know who I am and know what I do and stuff, but don't. You know what I mean? So, again, it's commendable to y'all as well to acknowledge that and say that.
Thank
know
you,
what I mean? So I
man.
appreciate that.
Because without the effort that you have put into like the Boston community as promoters, shit, we wouldn't have the battery in our back to keep on making these shows, making these events, and really putting the pressure out on these venues. Because back in the day, they was charging more of an arm and a leg, and because our music wasn't really respected. And then as soon as you put your leg in, now
Right,
hip hop is the new pop culture.
Yep.
Now they always want us to be in that.
Yeah, they're
So,
with it now.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, and I had to come approach it certain ways. You know what I mean? Because I had like a whole, soul music approach and series and stuff like that to soften some of these venues up a little bit. Because there was no way I was getting in with the type of, I don't care what type of, backpack, whatever, conscious, whatever. If it's rap, y'all black, get out. You know what I mean? So I had to come with the soul music and all that. I had a soul search thing that ran about 4 or 5 years, and just working with different R&B artists, and just, you know what I mean? Then started factoring a little, less, aggressive hip hop and stuff like that. And just let them know we just want to like perform and have people hear our music and stuff like that. So they start to realize that it's like, okay, don't mess up though. You give you like one shot. But yeah, if you can keep it going and stuff and keep the rah-rah out of the mix, that's one way to do it. So yeah, I definitely always been on it, man. Just trying to keep these opportunities going and stuff like that.
One question before I know Jizzy has his last remaining question.
You don't know me, nigga.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. But last thing, like, what would you tell like a person like me and Jizzy, like we're basically in the industry, foot in, foot out, professional, street.
I am not street.
Shut up.
I am not. I am a Jehovah's Witness. I go to church every Monday
roll up in
and
Raws?
Tuesday. I haven't smoked nothing in the last 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Fat crack is berry.
I did not even crack my beer yet.
Okay, but what would you tell?
Yeah, I'm not.
What would you tell a person like me and Jizzy, like as we like continue to like promote events, promote shows, and grow ourselves, like because obviously I've been doing it like for close to 4 years. Jizzy, you've been doing it for a year and a half.
That's what's up.
Like what would you tell us to like keep on going? You've been doing it for 12 years, so no matter what, people always trying to connect with you or collab with you and still trust you. And even me being a promoter for 4 years, I see people come and go. You know what I'm saying? Like pop up for a year and then just disappear.
Yeah.
Or been here for like 3 years. Like in the middle of the 4.5 years I've been around, like I've met and seen like over 20 promoters like build up and go.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised to myself to still be here, feeding 5 miles and still doing what I'm doing. But like, what advice would you like give me and Jizzy so we can like be 10 years plus just like you? You know what I mean? And not go crazy and choke anybody out.
Yeah.
Why you looked at me and you said go crazy? That's crazy.
Because you crazy.
No, I'm not. Don't listen to him. I'm a nice guy. Yeah, don't believe him.
You know what I mean? This is my first meeting in this. This first.
You need to come to like our next 4 showcases. Then. Yeah. We'll evaluate.
Oh shit. Shut up, Uzi.
Just y'all watching, I guess, just meeting this man, good people's, good energy. I know this guy already, so you see the difference in the crowd. He's got all these questions tucked away, like he knows. He's like, I know you did this, I know you did that.
I'm a student of the game, man.
So, I'm really like low key with it, so I don't be in everybody's face like this, but so that's part of a lot of what people tell me is like, yo, you're kind of reserved, you gotta tell people this and this and that. So a lot of times you won't see me on anybody's award thing or for anything, any of the hats, or whatever. But like I said, those who know, and I like to just build like off of a straight network and just keep it a buck with people. But to answer the question, my advice would be like keep getting back to it, consistency. You know what I mean? So crazy stuff happens, mind gets sidetracked, life happens, people mess around, whatever. Get a job, have a kid, get a dog, whatever you do. You know what I mean? There's gonna be things that are gonna adjust your lifestyle, but if you're like in it to do whatever you're doing, whether it's a promoter, whether you're running a studio, whether you're doing, it doesn't even have to be music related, just always be a student of the game, you know what I mean? like Uzi was saying, like even like in the corporate world translates to this. You know, we was talking about that earlier and stuff. And I learned a lot of stuff from the corporate world and just being real, you know, involved in like behind the scenes kind of like, you know what I mean? So that's what I would say. Stay on whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? When it slows down, keep it going. When it's like, you know what I mean? When it's popping, keep it going. Yo.
Yeah, but yeah, just keep it going. I mean, that's what I would say is like consistency. Always apply some pressure. I mean, I was always applying pressure out here. It was like, you know what I mean? But when I say that, it's more like personally, you know what I mean? You know, challenge yourself, continue to, and then, you know what I mean? You don't have to deal with all the politics and all that stuff if you're always trying to exceed what you're doing, you know what I mean? Or what you've done, and like, you know, and that all depends on what your goals are. But I would just say stick to it, you know, make sure the goals are attainable and you got an actual plan, you know what I mean, for it, you know what I mean? Absolutely.
All right, man. So what's next?
Oh man, so don't that. We good. So yeah, so for me, I mean, I've just been expanding. Like I said, obviously the music world and stuff is important, but financial literacy, like I said, is another thing that I've been trying to like push to clients, artists, you know what I mean? Because there's like that side of everything too, financing your music and stuff like that, financing your, you know, your career to advance it, and, you know, paying for whatever, whether it be videos or this. So, you know, making sure you have a plan of generating, you know, income and stuff like that. It doesn't always mean a job or something. So I'm big into real estate investing. I've been doing that real heavy. So that's been taken. So you haven't seen so many shows as consistently. I mean, we did a nice run this past year or two, but not as often as I used to. I'll probably expect more shows, different venues.
Sunday shows you was doing too was basically
That was cool. That was consistent. Yep. Shout out to Jungle. Definitely. That was definitely a dope run. Those were free shows Sundays. People just pull up and stuff like that. Be doing something at the Jungle actually January 22nd. That's it's a Spanish show, so it's all Hispanic lineup. Spanish trap, reggaeton, all that stuff. Because that's another community that kind of reached out to me in many different ways over the years. Like, we don't have a platform, you know what I mean? We don't have nothing, you know? I was thinking about it. I'm like, damn, y'all really don't. And like, y'all music is like bubbling around the globe right now. You know, you got your Bad Bunnies and this and this and that.
Throw my hat in there.
You got, how's your Spanish?
I learned some Spanish. Don't play.
There's no shade to the Spanish.
I learned some Spanish.
DJs.
Matter of fact, I need a Spanish DJ for that night.
Yeah,
That I
see.
do need. You know, with the themes, I do that. Like, it's like, all right, it's a Spanish fly show. I need Hispanic people. You know, Hispanic DJ. No different with the ladies first. You need a female DJ, female lady host, and stuff like that. Just for the themes to keep it fair, because a lot of times the rest of the year, it's just whatever. It's just
Word.
running around, and people are like, yo, you know, like the Hispanic community, like, yo, when can we get a shot? Or the females, whatever. So yeah, so you could expect definitely some more of that. I'm going to dive back into production, go crazy with the beat making again. You know, because, you know, I took a hiatus from that. Just more like I got opportunities in the studio now, you know, so we got different engineers that come in there. So people looking to work on different levels, you know what I mean? I always did interns over the years, so I'm about to get back to that. If you want to like learn about, you know, running a studio and stuff like that, or getting involved with some of what we're doing, you know, with Dreamstar and the brand, the showcases and everything like that, getting into a lot of artist development. Yeah, man, it's a lot of shit. We just trying to tap into, really. You know what I mean? Should look out for some apparel. You know, we always had the hats and the hoodies and stuff like that, but we're about to come with like some apparel, some, you know what I mean? Some stuff that you can grab, some merch. There you go. whatever these cats like to wear, man. We gonna
I'm a
make it.
sweatsuit type of guy.
I'm trying to do some sweats so I can wear them shits. all
Shout
day.
out.
You know what I mean?
Shout
They
out.
pop, they pop. If y'all like them,
Shout out
y'all
my
like
guy
them.
Oso Calabunga, man. You know, on the sweatsuit, man. You feel me? Right, he got it on the
Alright,
jeans,
OC.
the hoodie.
Yeah, he's not
He
playing.
probably got a hat. That's actually
Alright,
the other artist I was telling you about. That's
Okay,
gonna be
okay,
performing.
dope,
That's
dope.
crazy.
Yep,
So,
yep.
definitely.
Yeah, I think we connected online. Just add 'em. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely mad artists pulling up. You know, I'm drawing blanks right now. Miss Sheik's gonna rock out. I got some cats from around the way. My dude Pablo Star. I got Bobart, you know, some of my Zoes. You know, shout out to Zoes. Bobart. Young Bobart, you know.
I don't think they believe.
Hey yo, we ain't gonna talk about what that means. That's why I had to meet this guy.
You believe?
I had to meet the guy. Like, yo,
Goodness gracious.
yo. I was like, I have to meet
Yo,
this
you
guy,
sure?
man.
I was like, yeah.
I was like, he's from around my way, and that's his name.
That's
I
his
was like,
name.
and he got some solid music. You know what I
Your
mean?
name is that, you must have did some crazy shit.
Nah, I just think,
No, nigga, like, you can't have a
probably
name
get
like
into
that.
that's probably for the female. I don't know.
Probably
I
get to,
can't
who know?
explain it. Like
We haven't discussed it. Maybe we get him
Listen,
in here. You guys could ask
yeah,
him.
we gonna ask him. We gonna
You're
ask
gonna
him.
get him in there. You're gonna have to
We gonna ask him. I ain't
Yeah,
saying
that's-
it though, but
Yeah, but
ask
shout out, shout out Bobot. Shout out Bobot. Yeah, Legally Broke Media. You know what I mean? Mafia, I should say. You know, so yeah, it's a whole thing. So, like, again, I'm from Cambridge. That's where Middle East is situated, but I'm like from right around there, you know. So folks know it as the port. 4-4, all these cats is from around there. It's just, I mean, it's like a homecoming sort of thing because, you know what I mean? All my shows been elsewhere. I know I've never really had no Cambridge shows, you know what I mean? So it's something about doing something around where you're from, around where you grew up and shit. So, you know, that's where we at with it, man.
Definitely.
So make sure y'all pull up, man. Tickets is online on the Middle East website or the Facebook event page. Just look up Dreamstar, put in Dreamstar 12-year anniversary, and you know what I mean, grab your tickets.
Yeah, because we
early.
outside.
We outside with it.
We
This
outside.
man's hosting.
You know it.
He said he's impromptu. He's gonna be like calling niggas out.
Oh,
He got
yeah.
jokes. Oh, shit.
Oh yeah. I
Come
heckle.
prepared. Come
Heckle
clean
me
and
and
all
I'm
that.
rationing. Y'all should know. You ain't see what happened at Sound Labs? Shit, nigga. Anyway, like I said, yo, this is another dope-ass episode. Sponsored by Undeniable Sound, powered by Undeniable Sound, and also sponsored by Lonnie's Land. Always smokes with
What's up?
finest, you feel me? Definitely appreciate you, OG, for coming
Yo,
out.
appreciate
You
you
feel
having
me?
me.
We
man.
had to.
Keep doing your thing.
Y'all make sure y'all pull up next Friday, Middle East. We
We
outside.
outside with it. You know what I mean?
My brother Mega.
We
You don't
got-
have a microphone, but I'm pretty sure you can hear his big-headed ass.
Yeah,
It's all love.
we gonna be out there, man.
This nigga, you feel me? It's another motherfucking episode. G Honcho
Yeah.
representing Talking Time, representing
Yeah,
Masculation. We out. Bow.
You know.
Nigga, well, who the fuck says you know? This isn't Stomp the Yard.
It's undeniable, she on my dick line.
This
And
is
I'm
not
finna
Stomp the
roll up
Yard.
again. Blow all that smoke for my niggas that's been lying. And I play the trap with aggression. It's my obsession, I gotta go get right. We the talk of the town and we get live. She leaving with me, it's a good night.